Malnourished and showing signs of physical harm. That is what Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez is saying about a horrifying case of child neglect.
Children were found abandoned in an Alief area apartment complex. One of the siblings, a 9-year-old, was found dead inside. KPRC2 Sophia Ojeda joining us live from downtown Houston with the latest in this case. Sophia, good morning.
Good morning. I did just speak with Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, who told me that the mother and the boyfriend, they were interviewed last night and they were released and no charges have been filed. Meanwhile, Child Protective Services tells us an emergency removal is set to be filed today here in family court for the three brothers, and that CPS does have history with this family, but there was no active investigation at the time the children were found. The sheriff says they were called to the home on Greencrest Drive yesterday after the 15-year-old brother called them and said his younger 9-year-old brother was deceased and had been in the room next to his for the past year. When they arrived, they found the boy's remains in the apartment and the 15-year-old, 10-year-old, and 7-year-old living in deplorable conditions, malnourished with signs of injuries. The sheriff says the boys were getting food, but it's not exactly clear how they were getting it. Last night, the mother and her boyfriend were taken into custody and interviewed by homicide investigators. They have since been released and no charges have been filed. Again, there is an emergency removal hearing set for today here in family court for the three boys. We could learn a lot about what happened from that removal affidavit, but that is only if the judge chooses to release it.
All right, guys, so this story is out of Houston, Texas, Harris County area. You have 4 children, ages 15, 10, 9, and 7, that was abandoned, okay? The 9-year-old died, and officers found his remains in the apartment. The 15-year-old, the 10, and the 7-year-old was found in the apartment, malnourished and physically abused. The 15-year-old called 911 on Sunday to report that his younger brother had been dead in the apartment for a year. The 9-year-old remains was in another bedroom. The teen told dispatch that the children's parents did not live with them for several months. The officer did find the parents, the mom and the boyfriend, and the sheriff said no charges have been filed, but the investigation remained underway, and they released the parents. The children are under CPS supervision right now. Why the hell will you release the parents? And please note the sheriff department, they do know the whereabouts of the parents. They do know where they're at. But you could at least charge them MFs with some child endangerment. They left them damn kids in the apartment for months. They got a damn dead body in the apartment. And you can't charge them ML something? You want to release them? Are you that damn serious? This case have too many damn questions. And I just need some answers. So the first one is, how did a 9-year-old die? Who was paying the rent, unless this is some type of a Section 8 voucher housing type situation? Did the apartment management didn't do their type of inspections? Because I thought that apartment buildings get some type of inspection. Where the hell was the parents all these months? Why did they leave them in the house? How were the mother and the boyfriend living somewhere else when you have 4 children, 1 dead, and the other one's starving in the apartment not being taken care of? Why didn't any of the relatives notice that one of their kinfolk was missing for months? So there's no grandma, no aunties, some uncles, cousins, somebody? Why didn't the school system call CPS to do a welfare check? I mean, regardless of it's virtual or in-house, you still do a check-in. And how could the apartment management not have reports on the file order in the apartment and not check on it, because apparently the neighbors in the complex surrounding that particular apartment have been reporting and complaining about the smell, but the management didn't do anything. I mean, what the hell with this case? There are too many questions and not enough answers. This world is just getting crazier by the minute. I'm just lost of words. The horror they must have lived through. I really hope these kids get some help. I mean, serious help they need. And eventually get adopted by loving families. Apparently, the 15-year-old had a phone text his mother that he couldn't take it anymore. Oh, bless his soul. Great day. So he called 911 for help. The neighbors actually acknowledged the kids seemed to be alone most of the time, because they said the mother was rarely ever seen. One neighbor even said that she began feeding them 6 months ago, because she haven't seen the mother at home for quite some time. The neighbors are claiming they just didn't realize how bad the conditions the children were living in have become. If anything, I simply believe the area they live in probably composed of that ain't my business types who think it's not their place to stick their noses in other people's business. I'm sure everyone in the surroundings had the suspicion but opt out to mind their business. You know, this story is really sad. It breaks my heart. There are many apartment complexes, especially lower income, that are horribly managed. You know, complaints of the tenants are largely annoyed until something like this happens. And I'm sure the tenants complain of the smell. You know, how can you not smell a decomposing human being for over a year? But I can't imagine the horror and the sadness of grieving a sibling and having to smell the stench of a decomposing body for over a year. How did he not contact CPS or authority after seeing all this here? I mean, seeing no parents living at the apartment, a teen begging for food and scared to eat home prepared foods. Even a welfare check from the authorities would have uncovered that no parents was present at the apartment. And then going back to the school situation, you know, so many students that simply got lost in the system, you know, when COVID first started in March 2020. Kids must not have been enrolled in school. They probably been moving different places, never registered in the district, because CPS would have contacted for a no-show students, even if it's virtual. I just don't understand this. I'm so upset that these evil bastards let a 9-year-old die and let the remaining children starve, especially during this time. You got food stamps increase, you got food drives. I know, like in my area, there's one weekly, 2 and 3 weekly, to be honest with you. Stimulus payments, and it's what 4 kids do. You got the child tax credit and everything else. Look here, I have an old spirit. I'm nosy as hell, and I ask questions. And I will ask that baby, where's your mama? Is she working? Because I haven't ran into her in a while. Why you not in school, baby? You want something to eat, baby? Your mama don't feed you? What's going on? You know, make the child feel, I'll make the child feel comfortable and stuff like that, y'all. But still, you know, let me see what's going on here. Let me come on over there with you and see what's going on. And another thing, everybody kept complaining about this smell. Well, I'm going to investigate. Like, where is this smell come from? I can't take it no more. Where is this smell? Because I got this thing about smells, y'all. I really do. I can't deal with stink smells. I cannot. Cannot. I am going to find out what the smell is coming from, because it got to go. And I'm like that. I will be the investigator, and I'm going to find out where it's coming from. We really have some demons walking this earth. I can't imagine the level of mental damage those kids was put through. I don't understand these parents. There are people on this earth that should not be allowed to have children. And so many people fail these kids. What a world we live in where parents will do this to their own flesh and blood. It's hard to fathom this type of nightmare, and going through it as a child must have been very terrifying. These poor children, I hope they are kept together and shielded from this trauma. I hope they get all the help they need to overcome this emotional and physical neglect. May their younger sibling, the 9-year-old, rest in peace, free of pain and sorrow. And I'm wishing the remaining children peace, safety, and love. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to drop down in the comments and tell me your thoughts on this story. I'll love to hear from you. Make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'm Lady T. I will catch you the next time. Be blessed. Bye.